Hello, this is Martin from Occasion Lighting. Today we're going to do some work with some LED rope light. We've just found a supplier that can supply this in cuttable lengths. So this rope light can be cut at 1 metre lengths, the same as the rice bulb stuff we got. The difference between LED rope light and rice bulb rope light is the rice bulb stuff we have, if it's red, it will be red. You can see it's physically red, green, it's physically green and that. Whereas with the LED stuff, it's all transparent until you turn it on, then you see the colour. With the LED stuff, you need a different power lead than you do with the rice bulb stuff. But the joiners we sell will join both, so you can join LED rope light or rice bulb rope light with the joiners we sell. Key thing with this to remember is that we are working with electricity here, so please ensure you are competent or trained to do what we're doing. If you're not competent, if you're not trained, please get someone who is, as I say, because we are working with electricity and it is dangerous, it can kill. Okay, so one of the differences as well with LED rope light is that there's resistors in line with the in the rope light. You might be able to see it there, and it means you have to have the correct polarity for it to work. If the polarity is wrong, then the rope light won't light up. So when you buy the mains lead kit, you get a mains lead, you get a heat shrink, you get the electrical connector that goes in the end of the rope light. That's it there, so that plugs into the end of the rope light. And what we need to do is, as with the other rope light we sell, this needs to go, so these two contacts go into the end of those two main wires there. So in the end of the rope light, when it's cut, you'll see there's two main wires, and those two contacts need to go in there. I found that with the LED stuff, it's a little bit more fiddly than the rice bulb stuff we go at, because there's a hole down the middle, and sometimes you sort of slip off course a little bit. It's a little bit more fiddly to do than the rice bulb, but it is doable. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to give this a go, put this main leads on, and as I said, with this rope light, the polarity has to be correct for it to work. Okay, so remember to put your heat shrink on. I usually put it on the end of the lead like that. As I say, this is a little bit fiddly. Sometimes it don't like going. Right, there we go, we're in. Now, if the polarity is the right way round, this will light up. If the polarity is wrong, it won't light up. So, looks like we've got the wrong polarity on there. So we'll give it a go. Let's turn it off again. And we're going to turn this around 180 degrees. So whereas before I had the brown on this side, I've now got the blue on this side. And we're going to try it again. Hopefully, there we go. It's lit up. Fabulous. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to stick the heat shrink on. This will only take us half a minute. So there are a few ways to do the heat shrinks. Personally, I prefer a heat gun. I do a lot, and if you're doing a lot, invest in a heat gun, and you'll find it's a lot quicker and easier doing it this way. There we go. Make sure it's well strong. Fabulous. Okay, that's the heat shrunk done. Now what we're going to do with this is we're going to stick a metre of red on the end of it. So we're going to joint it. I just so happen got a metre of red. Now with jointing kit again, you'll get a heat shrink, you'll get a joiner, and you'll get an end cap. And as I say, in Blue Peter tradition, I've got one that I put in earlier. Same thing again. You've got to get those two prongs in the end of the two wires. Okay, can be a bit fiddly, but here we go. And the same as before, if you don't get the polarity right on this, it won't work. So let's hope, let's put it in. So if I've got the polarity on this correct, this will just, let's put that heat shrink just over there to keep it safe, because it is electrical, at least it's shielded there. So if I've got the polarity correct, it should light up. Happy days, couldn't have asked for it better. So there you go, that's the mains lead fitted and the joint done with a piece of red. So if you've got Christmas lights or whatever, that's on there. Just going to stick an end cap over there to keep that safe. And the same again as before, there we go, that's on there. The end caps you can put on with a bit of super glue or a bit of clear silicone sealer to do it. You can get that from Screwfix or anywhere, or get little tubes online on eBay. So there we go. So the next thing we'd normally do is we'd shrink that down, the heat shrink, just the same as we've done the other one. And that's that. A few tips now. If you're building displays and stuff like that, if you're using your rope light to build displays and you're making shapes and stuff like that, when you bend the rope light, please ensure that the two wires, so the two main wires we've put those connectors in, are at the sides. Okay, if you try and bend it with them at the top or the bottom, there's a good chance you'll break the wire, and then you'll lose a metre of rope light. So make sure they're at sides and try not to bend on a bulb. So when you heat this stuff up, it can be so supple. You can literally do it with hardly any gap in there. I normally stick it in front of a fan heater, leave it in front of the fan heater for a while, and it'll get really, really supple. And you can literally, you know, there, look, near enough now. You know, we've got quite a good bend on there. See, so, and the key thing is, make sure those wires are at the sides and not the top and bottom. Okay. The other thing is cable tie it to your frame. So as you go, if you've got anything left over, as I say, you can't cut this between the metre lengths. It won't work. It's to do with the voltage going through it. If you cut it down, it won't work. Okay, so it's got to be a metre length. But if you're putting it on frames and stuff like that, what I do, we've built quite a few things, if you can see on the videos if you have a look on the link and stuff. I'll put some black gaffer tape or something similar, so black, silver, white gaffer tape, put the gaffer tape over it and just tuck it behind and cable top behind the frame, and you just don't see it. So if you only need, say, part of that there, gaffer tape it up, just cable tie it behind the frame. Whatever you do, don't cut it off. So that's one way of doing it. Make sure you use quite a few cable ties, that'd be lucky. You can find us, if you've got any questions or anything you want to ask, you can email me at occasion.lighting@gmail.com. That's occasion.lighting@gmail.com. Or you can ask questions through eBay. We sell most of the fittings for the LED and the rice bulb stuff. Remember, if your stuff's coloured, it's usually rice bulb. If it's clear, it's usually LED. And please ensure that you feel happy and you're competent or trained to do this. And it's easy enough if you just take your time. Just take your time while you're doing it. So, to be honest, the only thing holding you back with this is your imagination. If you look at some of the videos, you know, you'll see on I think it's the Martin S we've got the videos on.